It has been over a month since Bernie's devlog promised the upcoming ULB update, but as of today, still nothing. We still wait, the tensions are growing, and the question remains, when will 1.6.1 actually drop? If we look at the devlog itself, we can see Bernie showing off the new stuff for the game, which is scary because it's been 1 month. And if you look at the previous devlog for the 1.6.0 update, you can see that he also showed even more new stuff for the game. I'm pointing out the obvious, but I can explain further. This isn't the only time waiting for the update took this long. Again, if we look back at the difference between the initial devlog of 1.6.0 and the release announcement, from the 14th of November of 2024 until the 2nd of December 2024, it seems it took him exactly less than 1 month. 2 weeks to be exact, and to be more exact, 14 days. Which is concerning. Why is taking Bernie so long? Why is taking Bernie so long? When is taking Bernie so long? Where is taking Bernie so long? And how is taking Bernie so long? That is actually a good question. That's why we have incriminating evidences on how is taking Bernie so long. And to begin, we need to interview the true catalyst, Skillaway, who was the one who suggested the Beat Boy boss.
Alright, so hello Skillaway. It's an honor to actually interview you. And don't worry, it's going to be a short one. It won't take a while. And I have 4 questions. So first question is, why did you make that boss?
Well, because at that time everyone else was creating bosses too. So I just figured out I should make one too. And because I'm Level Maker 5, it's still crazy for me that Bernie chose mine, which I'm mighty proud of. Thank you, Bernie, I love you. But other losers.
Wow, what a beautiful answer for my question. And moving on. Did you actually expect Bernie to create that boss?
No, not really. He did say that he liked it, but he never really confirmed that it was gonna be added. It was also really years ago too. I already lost my hopes.
I see, and then he did add it. So
yeah,
since the first concept was already 2 years ago, do you think could they work on the initial concepts?
I don't think I need to rework on it. Since Bernie is adding it anyways, I don't want he delays the update.
Okay. Last question. What is your stance on the flip content?
Kill yourself!
As you can see, during the interview, Skill actually said that the initial concept was 2 years ago, which is more than 1 month. That is extremely concerning. Now, why would Bernie make that boss now instead of 2 years earlier? I have a few theories, and after the theories, I will then draw out a raw prediction on when the update is gonna come out. But first, let's dive into the first theory. Bernie is replaced by infected Carbo theory. The first theory claims that Bernie died from infected Carbo due to a bad shrimp. And since then, infected Carbo has tried his best to mimic Bernie. Obviously that takes a while, plus he doesn't know how to code, so he watched tutorials on how to code in Unity. Now he successfully copied Bernie down to his voice and is using ChatGPT 5 to help him code him, which is morally questionable, but this theory is not really realistic in my opinion, because infected Carbo doesn't really live in the Rocky Mountains. But hey, what do you know? theory suggests that Bernie is an actual human being who has a life and has a family to spend time to. Yeah, this theory is kind of unrealistic because Bernie is a rocky oyster according to his profile picture. Holy shit! Oh my god, there's a bee! Ow! Wait. There's a bee in my room. Oh my god. This is actually one of the more valid theories here. Bernie has confirmed that there will be a sequel or remake for the game using Godot instead of Unity. There is no confirmed name, but the most common name associated are Godot Remake or ULB Remake. There will be unique features in the Godot remake such as quote Bernie, gravity changing shenanigans. This theory is actually the most plausible one, in my opinion. Suggested by it challenges the possibility that the reason ULB 1.6.1 is not coming out soon is that Bernie is trying to learn languages all around the world, such as Espanol, Spanish, British, English, and Japanese. This is because there is a secret version of ULB called ULB Spanish and ULB Japanese and ULB British. And learning the languages I've mentioned will help him finish all of the ULB versions first before finishing 1.6.1. Now that we've gone through all of the theories, I believe that Bernie learning multiple languages is the most possible one out of all, mainly because there's enough evidences. With this locked in, we can move on to the prediction. Learning Spanish takes roughly 15 minutes, so that's out of the way. English is already a nice language, so it's all left to Espanol, British, and Japanese. If we calculate the average time of an ant learning British, it will take roughly 16 quadrillion years for them to finish learning the language. Why? Because a little birdie told me that a bear ant and a rocky oyster are just about the same. Combine it with Japanese, it actually motivates the average bear ant to double the learning speed, which is 8 quadrillion years. Lastly, Espanol is interesting because it somehow takes it down to 2 months, so 1.6.1 will come out in the 30th of February 2026. Wait, that date exceeds February? February can only go up to 28 days? What? Oh. Oops.